In today's video, I'll show you how to capture hyperlapses using the DJI Drone series. I'll break down the 4 different options, explain which is best for any scenario, and show you the process of capturing with real-world examples. This is my 6th tutorial in the series. If you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. Welcome and thanks for joining me. In case you aren't aware, allow me a moment to explain what a hyperlapse is. A time-lapse, like the one on the screen now, is where multiple photos are taken and merged together into 24 or 25 frames per second to show the passing of time. A hyperlapse is similar, except the camera is moving at the same time. It's important to note before I begin, the RC display will show a 4:3 ratio when recording hyperlapses, similar to the photo mode. However, the automated final clips will be in a widescreen 16:9 format. Please bear this in mind when framing the clips. Firstly, let's break down the 4 options available. 3. As the name suggests, the user maintains full control during recording. Circle. This option is best when you want to focus on a central point and rotate the drone on a circular path. Course lock. In this mode, you set a path for the drone to fly along, then choose an angle to film. The drone will then move in that direction whilst capturing the footage. Waypoints. This is the only option that allows the drone to change height and gimbal angle whilst recording. It's the most advanced of all the options. Let's begin with free mode. I'll check the exposure and fly to an angle to get a good composition. Because the subject is a vehicle, I'm going to set the interval at 2 seconds. If the footage is too slow, it can always be sped up in the edit. It can't, however, be slowed down, as this would make the clip less than 24 frames per second and thus too choppy. As I increase the interval, you will see the time needed to record will increase. This is because, as I've already mentioned, the automated clip will need to be 24 shots per second in the final video. I will now set the length at 20 seconds. Max speed is not important as I'm keeping the drone stationary, but this will set how fast it will travel during the recording. When you are ready, press the capture button. The time remaining will be displayed, as will the total frames captured. You will also see there is a +1 button. This will increase the total time of the recording by 1 second. If I press the button now, it will display a notification that the drone will record for an additional 50 seconds. The frame total has increased by 50. Let's skip ahead. I wanted to check if there was a maximum allowance with the +1 button. 750 frames seems to be the cap in this mode. Once the recording is complete, the drone will begin processing the footage. Similar to the other modes, such as panoramic, you will have control over the drone's movement and gimbal, but capture mode will be locked until it is complete. It's worth noting a few other options whilst I'm here. You can capture raw files of each shot in case you wish to have them. This will consume a lot of space on your SD card though. There is also a JPEG option. Or you can disable them altogether and just have the automated video. You can also set the resolution at 2.7K to capture a vertical format instead. I'm using the Air 3 on this occasion, and the gimbal cannot rotate 90 degrees. The Mini series can, however, so you can maintain a 4K resolution. Occasionally, depending on the subject being captured, the autofocus can have issues, particularly with changing weather or subjects moving in and out of the frame. I advise manual mode in most instances. Let's have a look at the final clip. I have doubled the speed as it was originally a bit slow. To cover the circle hyperlapse option, I've come to Malden Promenade and one of my favourite subjects, the statue of the Anglo-Saxon warrior Britnoff. Because of the proximity of the public, I've switched to the Mini 3 Pro. Once again, I'll set the interval at 2 seconds. Total video length of 15 seconds. Speed will determine how fast the drone will rotate around the subject. I'll keep it nice and slow at 1 meter per second. For rotation, CCW is counterclockwise, CW is clockwise. Finally, I will draw around the statue to set the focus point. Once you are ready to roll, press the capture button and the drone will begin the process. Similar to free mode, you can use the +1 button to increase the length of the recording. I'm already pushing my luck with the remaining battery, so I'll leave that on this occasion. Once it is complete, press the green X to cancel the lock-on. Let's look at the completed clip. For the next mode, I've moved further on the promenade to the quayside and switched back to the Air 3. The third option is course lock. This is super useful for when you wish to capture in one direction whilst flying in another. First step is to point the drone in which direction you wish to fly. When you have that, press the padlock button to lock the path. You will see the path appear on the map in the bottom left. Next, set the interval, length and speed. On the map, you will see a red dot appear. This is where the drone will be when the recording is completed. If I change the shot interval, thus increasing the overall filming length, the red dot will move to the updated location. When I decrease it back to 2 seconds, the red dot will return. The next step is to rotate the drone to the angle you wish to capture the hyperlapse. The horizon looks a little off, so I will push the C1 button twice to lower and raise the gimbal, a useful tip if you ever have this issue. When you are good to go, press capture. If I press the +1 button, the red dot will move accordingly. One more tip for this mode. If you are concerned about battery life or the drone flying far away, do the opposite to this example and start at the furthest point and head towards yourself. I do this most of the time, but forgot to on this occasion. Here's the final result. For the final mode, I'm switching back to the Mini 3 Pro once again. Waypoint Mode is the most advanced of the Hyperlapse options, but it is very easy to use. As mentioned at the beginning of this tutorial, Waypoints is the only option that allows the height and gimbal angle to change during the recording. First step is to set the starting point. The C1 shortcut for marking waypoints does not work in this mode, so instead press the plus icon displayed on the screen. Once you have the first one set, move to where you would like the second one to be. It's important to note the drone will fly directly from A to B, so make sure there are no obstacles in the way. For this example, I will just make the 2 waypoints. Once that's done, head roughly to the first. The map will display the waypoint locations. Slightly different options this time around. Sequence will allow the choice between starting at the first or last waypoint. Interval and length are the same as before. You may notice there is not a speed option in this mode, nor is there a +1 option. This is because the speed is determined by the path set between waypoints. and the video length cannot be increased for the same reason. Press capture when ready. When you do, the drone will fly at a slow speed to the first waypoint and begin the recording. And here is the final result. A few tips before I finish the video. In course lock mode, I forgot to mention that it's possible to highlight a subject similar to circle mode, and the drone will maintain said subject in the frame during the flight. If the recording length is estimated to exceed the remaining battery life, you will see a warning on the screen. In my experience, it's best to take that advice and not risk the drone having less time than needed to return to home. You can cancel the recording at any time using the capture button, and the footage captured will still be processed into a hyperlapse clip. Finally, make sure to keep the drone in visible line of sight and regularly check the screen to make sure everything is okay. It's easy to become complacent when filming automatically over a long period. If you have made it this far, many thanks. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Any other tips or questions, please comment below. All that's left is to say ta-ta and farewell.